Alright, Krusty Krushers and LogiSwords will be the first game of this Season 2. I have the coach of Krusty Krushers here. He's got a fully new squad. I think only, wait, Ash. No, Ash wasn't on your team at the end of the season, was she?
In the beginning
No.
of the season, she was.
Yeah. So actually, you have a completely new team here. And LogiSwords also have a completely new team. Being at the end of the draft means sometimes you get stuck with some lower tier picks. But what are you feeling about your team here right now?
Honestly, now that I got a win under my belt, I'm just here to have fun.
Want to see how this Winston Ash Sim team does.
I think it could potentially do okay. I don't think I'm going to be a top tier team, but I think I'm going to be like a mid tier team, which I'm going to be just fine with. I want to be a gatekeeper team this year.
Be a gatekeeper team. I mean, hey, you got the dub, which does mean you get the final pick, which makes it a lot harder to win future seasons in Overbots. So.
Yeah, honestly, my goal is to be a gatekeeper.
A gatekeeper. Let's see how different the format is in 4v4 versus 3v3. I'm really interested to see if any heroes start to like excel in this mode and compared to the other. All right, here we go. Krusty Krushers, LogiSwords. Map number 1 will be New Junk City. And you can co-commentate if you want.
Alright, so we are looking at a New Junk City to start us off here. And I'm very interested to see how the monkey and the Symmetra turrets work together. I feel like
with that bubble, yeah, I feel like they could have some
bubble in
synergy.
place, it's going to be harder for the enemy team to focus the turret. So who knows? I might have a really powerful combination on my hands, or my team might just throw.
That is the way of the bots. That is the way of the bots. I had Winston on my team last year. He was okay at times. I feel like you have to surround him with the right team for him to really do anything. But yeah, his primal, when he uses primal, he can be pretty okay. He uses a little bit early. He doesn't really wait for his health to go down. He kind of just uses it right at the beginning of the fight. So he's not getting the full value out of primal, but it still can do some stuff here. I'm really interested in this LogiSwords comp. There's no support on this team, but I don't think they need it. They've got the Junker Queen sustain and the Reaper self-sustain, and I don't think Hanzo will be pushing in to get himself killed too much. So this is a really interesting squad. We got a lot of shotguns here.
Down low.
Both teams are going to be coming down low. I feel like this.
Krushers are gonna
This is one of those matchups where just have to see how this goes, I guess.
Bubble comes down.
Big nade. They're trading.
Trades everywhere.
Okay, it looks like LogiSwords will come out on top with their double tank and Reaper core. It's a very strong core. Just very death ball-y. It's very death ball-y. It's going to be hard to kill them quickly, but let's see, Winston getting a little bit hung up here on walls. This is what I'm used to, as I had Winston on my team last year. Can feel your pain through the
Classic.
Winston does get stuck on everything. He is fat. All right.
Bubble down. Winston's gonna get chunked down super fast.
Oh my, he goes down so fast. It's just so many shotguns to go up against here. Symmetra is gonna get one.
Get two.
Yeah, Hanzo is 1 HP.
They got one. I got the Zarya, but that's not gonna be enough. I think it's gonna be a point here.
You just really gotta hope that this next point is pretty close to you and you can set up before they get there, because if your team can set up those turrets and actually get them started, you have a pretty good chance at winning some
They are
fights.
considering their options. I do think they are going to hold off on going to the point here. They are going towards, but I think they'll change their mind as soon as they get up close to the point.
Well, they might actually get one more touch here. Okay, Winston, no, Winston will not. Oh, he's not going to get the touch. He's going to back off. And where is the next point? I can't tell. I can't even see.
And they're actually going to back off and hit a dynamite down on the queen. They're actually going to take this.
Oh, they got the Zarya.
Right, they're actually going to take this fight right here.
They do take that fight and win it, but unfortunately, the point is not going to unlock for another O, and Hanzo gets a pick on the rotation. Hanzo goes down to half, though. Ash poking him out.
And it looks like...
Got the dynamite on him.
Looks like the full squad of the LogiSwords is grouped up, but they're not going to make it here in time to make a contest here.
So maybe that fight was crucial, taking that fight there, getting one pick. Actually, did they get 2 picks? They got 2 picks, right? That'll be enough for them to take this first.
Touch here.
No, she's not going to get up there in time. So that is going to be a first take for your Krusty Krushers. Good to see from If you
Oh,
remember,
that's a sustainer coming in.
sleeps do not get followed up on, so sleeps can be nice, but okay, Ash only one
Yeah,
up, and
that
Logie
Junker
Swords.
Queen yell is essentially just a big group heal.
Yes, it is. Very good fight win for the Logie Swords. They're up
I
third,
expect that.
but the Krusty Krushers are up 30% here.
I do expect that the LogiSwords are trying to get revenge on me from last season, which, you know, don't blame them
Yeah,
for absolutely obliterating them. I mean, what?
yeah, 4-0 in the finals. It wasn't even close. It might have been partially due to that free agency
That is
team,
a
as has created some
huge.
problems and tension in the Overbots League in the offseason. As we did have a team crash out fully and leave because another team left and they couldn't take all of their picks. They were greedily eyeing their squad from the sidelines and saying, "I want that Orisa." For May, and when I denied them, they got a little bit upset.
A little bit of a crash out of the Overbottle League, but nothing that we at the Commissioners can do.
Alright. I might have made it a little bit of a dictatorial statement there, but I did just want to see some more competitive matches in the Overbot League. Here comes the Winston. Can he get this last? The Bob is in. Oh,
That is a failed Bob, but that Bob is going to take the
that Bob was a very unfortunate one. As we see the Krusty Krushers getting slammed by Logie Swords
And
on the
this
rotation
is
out.
looking not too promising for my fellow team, the Krusty Krushers. The sustain and the multiple tanks, I just...
Yeah, there's
really
a lot
gotta
of
get it
sustain.
going.
You gotta hope for maybe a different map type will help you out. I'm thinking maybe like a well, I don't even. They have so much self sustain. They're gonna be good on deathmatch maps. So if they get
It's gonna
deathmatch
be
maps,
really
it's gonna be
to
hard.
take this team out. This is looking like maybe, like, this might be early for Overbot League, but for Season 2, but this is looking like a potential top
Solid
team.
squad. At least a solid squad. You do get the Ana and the
Reaper
Ash.
actually uses his ult. This is a new season, and I think Reaper might have figured out how to actually press Q.
Yeah, but sometimes it just depends on the team you're on. It seems like they don't use their ults when they're on certain teams with certain characters. I don't know what it's about. But we might even see a Zarya grab come out here, which we have not seen a single Zarya grab yet in Overbot.
Definitely be a...
And I could very well see it being comboed with the Hanzo ultimate if she does decide to use it.
Oh, 100%. I think that might be on the table here. Monkey is jumping in.
He does use that primal. So this is his early usage of primal, which he usually gets. They are gonna get the Hanzo out here. However, Ana, ooh, Winston gets 2 with the primal.
Monkey with the... Oh my goodness, you honestly love to see it. You love to see the monkey get the primal. Was that 2 environmental kills? I didn't even see
I
him.
didn't see. I believe he did launch them both off the map. So even though your team is a little bit, it seems to be a little bit struggling, especially against the squad, it makes sense. There's a lot of shotguns to go up against when you have this Winston.
Might be my downfall. This team might be my downfall.
Yeah, there are a couple teams in the Overbots that I think could dismantle this squad quite good. I think you'll be good against certain
A
teams.
huge sleep.
All right, here they come. Oh my gosh,
Going
they're
down right away.
Reaper does fall though. Traded out. Okay, Winston.
Trade it out.
Although
But
no,
Ash
that's
decides to
Queen
focus
against.
on Hanzo.
It's Queen against. Yeah, Queen and Hanzo against
That is
Ashes.
gonna be a flip.
Just very unfortunate. See, when you have all the bots really like to take these brawly fights. So having having two very strong brawl tanks and a Reaper, it's pretty good for you because they like to play up close and personal. The snipers and overbots aren't typically quite as good, so sometimes Ash can get a little bit. Yeah, that might be the map. Yeah, that will be the map. Winston almost getting that touch, but not quite. And that'll be LogiSwords taking map 1 pretty convincingly there, but there were some fight wins in your favor. So what do you expect to see from these future maps, and what are you hoping you see?
I'm hoping. I think really we do have a pretty good like presence if we get set up. But against this team, we don't have time to set up. We are
We are done. But it's like, we are cooked. Okay, we're going to Rialto. And I don't think we've seen Rialto. I don't think we've seen Rialto in bots yet.
This is a good spot. I mean, if my Ash was smart and went to the top high ground, she might be able to actually, pop off. But bots.
Yeah. This will be our. I think this is our first time ever seeing Rialto. I do not recall seeing this in season 1.
I do not believe we had a Rialto game in season.
Like even when I was randomizing maps, I don't remember seeing this map. Maybe once or twice. This is gonna be really weird because there's this weird choke here. So Krusty Krushers in this series will always be on defense first. I believe you're the blue squad here. It's a very interesting game here. Sim seems to be struggling on her new squad. She was very good with the Gooders, but not quite getting as many kills. In fact, it seems to be her actual Winston getting a lot of the kills in these fights, surprisingly.
Yeah, he is popping off. That was a good map. I'm so proud of him.
The Primal was massive. That Primal was massive. It's about the one of their only 2 fights that they won.
Not enough to win. It looks like
Yeah.
they are gonna be holding up.
Yeah, they always do hold on the card. This is the thing we know about bots, is they go right on that payload. They say, we are spawn camping. That is the motto of Overbots.
Yes.
They do touch the payload, except for when it actually matters. That's that's what we know. Ash getting a little bit cut off here by the Zarya. Anna keeping herself alive with her nade.
Somebody's gonna go down.
That is a very quick team fight victory here for LogiSwords. This squad is just so brawly in comparison. However, they do immediately vacate the presence of the payload. A little bit of a time waster there.
I'm not gonna lie, chat. This might seem like a 3-0 to me.
Yeah, this squad matchup I don't think is the greatest it could be for what your team wants to play against. Your sim turrets haven't actually been seeming to get that much of like presence. Am I mistaken?
No, they have not had that much value yet.
Okay, this choke here though could be different. Oh wow, Hanzo actually aimed at that sim turret. I'm pretty sure. Okay. That's another clean team fight win for the Logi Swords. They are looking pretty strong this season once again, despite having completely different members on their squad.
Yeah, they are looking pretty strong here. They do have so much sustain on their team. They don't even need a healer.
All right, here comes the Winston. The Queen anti in the back line. She's going to get cooked here. That is a bit of a feed from the Queen. However, I think it might not matter because Hanzo's getting some value. Zarya's getting some value. Getting a kill on the Ana. And wow, even though the Queen goes down, the rest of the team able to really fortify themselves and fend off the remaining push from Krusty Krushers there. And it looks like Sim is not long for this world. This is a very good push on Rialto. We have not seen much of this map, but if we have, this is looking like one of the better attacks on it. All right, Ana coming in 1v4. Not exactly the smartest play here. Those bubbles have really been denying a lot of Ana's nades, I feel like. A lot of the value that could be provided from those nades. Look at that. They actually do. Look at those turrets. They are killing those turrets very quickly. Some teams just ignore the turrets, but...
The AI might have gotten an upgrade since Season 1.
They just updated it, yep. I don't know. It would be funny.
A fresh update from Overwatch League, from Overwatch itself. The developers of the game, Jeff Kaplan, he decided to actually upgrade the bots after seeing the atrocities of them in Season 1.
Yeah, he watched Overbot League. He decided enough is enough. Okay, Winston's going to dive in there. See, Winston just goes down so fast against this team. It's very hard for him to get any value. However, the sim turrets?
You get 1 kill.
That's not going to be enough with the Queen ult there. Queen ult was massive.
That is going to be...
Queen is a very strong bot, as we know from Rush Hour. She put in a lot of work with them. And she's back. I think she's a little bit more of one of the underrated tanks we've had. She's basically just another DPS, but with a lot of health. So,
Yeah, no,
fits in quite nicely with this roster that doesn't have any healing. Just sustains herself. And she can shred Winston, as you can see. One of those squads...
This might be a hot take, but I haven't seen the other teams yet. This might be a contender for first place team.
It could be a contender up there. We'll see.
Definitely, I think the amount of sustain they have and just the raw damage, I think they're definitely a team that could go
They
My
are.
team, on the other hand, is fulfilling my wish, hopefully, of being a gatekeeper team.
He's really hoping that he's in that mid tier. His goal is to be mid this season. However, Symmetra gets the nano. It doesn't seem to do much though, unfortunately. Get pushed out a little bit here. And Sim is going to go down. Yeah, that is going to be it. That's a full push on Rialto. Alright, we're going to have to see something completely different here from the Krusty Krushers if they want to make a full push. Wow. This LogiSword squad is looking clean. What other teams do you think are you interested to see take center stage here?
I haven't looked at all the rosters yet, so
I'm very interested to see how the Unks do this season. They have Orisa, Cassidy, and Widowmaker, and I from what I remember seeing on the Moldy Milkers, despite being a really bad team last season, Cassidy, he single-handedly won fights for them. So I'm wondering how well he's gonna do on a team with Orisa.
I think honestly that team might actually be a dark horse.
I'm not too sure. Widowmaker can be a little bit of a letdown sometimes, but when she does actually scope in and hit headshots, she can just take a pick like on a squishy randomly. It happens sometimes. It'll just be like going around and then all of a sudden something dies on the other side and you're like, what? So I'm really interested to see how that team works out. I think your team is in a rough spot where they're running Monkey into both a Reaper and a Junker Queen, which I think creates a couple problems inherently. There are a few teams you're going to have that struggle with running Winston. As I recall from my season, it's just like there's lots of characters in this game that just like dunk on Winston if he's being played like the way the bot Winston plays him. So like Bastion is going to be rough. Torb is going to be rough because of the shotgun. Just like anything with a shotgun, it becomes very, very apparent that Winston is one of the weaker tanks. But I don't think it's necessarily... Like, I think it's just there's so many characters in this game that counteract how well Winston can work. I think that has to do part of it. Alright, Ash. I'm getting stuck in the spawn a little bit here for Krusty Krushers. Reaper, those turrets... See, the turrets are just getting denied a lot of value by those bubbles. The Zarya bubbles are coming through very strong here. I don't think they can. I think eventually you will push through just on damage. Because eventually they're going to drop more than... Surely, eventually they're going to drop more than one person. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just coping. That would be crazy if we saw a 0 meter full hold. I don't think we've ever seen that.
Right now it is looking like it.
LogiSwords putting in their best effort here. They have the last pick in the draft. They've assembled a team that is actually fairly good. This is looking like a full hold here.
I'm noticing something that my Ana likes to go on a lot of flanks.
I need to talk to her about that one. In the post-match team meeting. It looks like you are going to be following O2 in this series.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to need to see some major switches in the AI behavior, which I don't know if it's possible. Man, this is crazy. Are we gonna see a 0.00 meter push? I don't think any team in season 1 was that dominant over another team. Okay. Although to be fair, there was a lot of teams that didn't go into escort, so we're gonna know.
Finally, is one pick from the Krusty Krushers.
They get 2 picks. Sim putting in some work here. Trying to prove her worth.
They are going to get this car moved.
just a matter. So Sim is going very far back. I think she's just trying to keep herself alive as her team regroups here. So there's only 2 tanks left here. Can we just see a pick on one of them? You gotta evict these tanks. Yes, there is a lot of sustain coming through here. Queen goes down to half. She is gonna die. Okay.
They're gonna move the cart.
So that is gonna start the payload movement. Okay, so you are not gonna get a 0.00 meters, whatever.
It's just going full on in.
She's inting. Oh, actually, that's a very strange position we've seen from the defenders there. They're going wrapping around. I think they're gonna die for this actually. Hanzo and Reaper, the 2 DPS getting themselves killed. Could be the start of something here, as now the 2 tanks are gonna come in and maybe stagger themselves. So this could get interesting. All of a sudden.
Primal is used.
Let's see, do the DPS get back in time to help out their tanks here, or are we gonna see them stagger out? Actually, Ash is gonna go down. Ash gets stuck on the payload. She's trapped by the payload. Zarya's gonna go down here. Oh, but Reaper's back and he Death Blossoms on the point, and that's gonna be it.
That's gonna be the point there.
Wow. This is a dominant showing here from LogiSwords after getting stomped 4-0 in the grand finals last season. They're coming out swinging against the same team that did it to them. With completely different picks. None of these heroes had much... I mean, they had some success in Overbots last season. A couple of Rush Hour team members on the squad from last season, and a couple of... Actually, you had Reaper last season. You didn't ever bring him out because Torb was just the better choice. But man, okay, Temple of Anubis. So this is going to be deathmatch. And actually, I did want to change a rule for deathmatch for this season of Overbots. I forgot to do that. I think we're going to up the amount of kills to 40 instead of 30. So 10 more kills for 1 more player. I think that makes sense. So I'm going to go update the rules here. So it's going to be score to win 40. And then I am going to save that into the Overbots. Okay, there we go. So Temple of Anubis should now be first to 40 kills instead of first to 30. That way the map lasts a little bit longer. They are very short maps. They make series nice and quick for me. And they're very chaotic, so it can create some weird results. We'll see how this goes. It's with 4-on-4, I'm not going to be able to track every fight. So, Tyler, if you want to do some commentary on what's happening on different sides of the field, you can. These deathmatch maps are very, very chaotic in Overbots. They play a lot differently. They play a lot differently than every type of regular mode we have. Alright, so they're going to spawn, and some on the low ground, some on the high ground here.
Ash is going against Hanzo right now.
Reaper's going to pick off the Onuf to start. However, the car wash is coming through here from Sim. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Sim getting 2.
Sim is getting 2.
Deathmatch chaos can create some very strange result. I think Winston's going to go... Actually, Anna's keeping her... Nope. Anna's keeping her alive. And Jungle Queen's the one that falls. So now it's 4-1. This deathmatch map looking a little bit better here for Krusty Krushers. Ooh. They actually are playing quite a bit as a team. They might give the Reaper here too. This is going very good for Krusty Krushers on this deathmatch map. The chaos of deathmatch can create some unexpected results for teams sometimes. Sometimes it creates these really odd matches where there's things that don't usually happen.
They're gonna lose 2 here.
So yeah, that is going to get a little bit of a trade going here. Anna might die here to Reaper. She's getting...
Yep.
Gonna die here. Monkey's probably going to die too. He's getting hounded. Zarya is getting very, very low. Oh my word. Hanzo and Zarya very low in the backline. They barely get out with their lives. So they are able to keep this at 7-6. And now it's 7-7. So now it is tied.
It's going to be tied back up.
Uh-oh. LogiSwords are in the lead. The anti comes through, but it immediately gets cleansed, and now they're up 2. LogiSwords playing very well together. They are playing very well together. Ash is all alone here, but she's diffing the queen. Wow, she just diffed him. She diffed her like all by herself. She pumped her full of lead. But Anna's gonna fall back here. That was surprising. I did not expect to see the Ashe just fully, like, pound the queen into dust. Alright, so now it is 9-14. Going ways of the way into the LogiSwords' favor. You're down 5 kills here, but you really just gotta hope for some weird fights. I think those narrow chokes where if Sim can just put out her freaking turrets.
Turrets? Yeah, no, it's definitely.
So it did create some problems for LogiSwords. If she can actually get those turrets down and working. But sometimes just doesn't put in quite enough work. 9-18. You're down 9 kills here. Started out very strong for Krusty Krushers, but it's quickly turned around back into LogiSwords' court.
Can we play, like, how do you get onto the game, the dangerous space thing? I can't.
Oh, you gotta get the switch on. Just go ask,
Does he
go ask Shalina. I think Shalina should know. Okay. Yeah, that was my niece. Okay. So the recording will hear that. But you did not. So here we go. No,
Will you help us?
not right now. I'll do it later. Okay.
They might not have later.
Okay. Well, okay.
Here, give him
1 second.
It's been 1 second.
Okay.
That's not what I meant.
The children are invading the chat here, guys. Okay. So now, yeah, this is just it started out close. Krusty Krushers, it started out close, but the tables have quickly flipped in the LogiSwords' favor here. Yeah, this one's a little bit of a wash. Very powerful team coming through here from the LogiSwords. Very unexpected too. These are not the usual terrors we see in Overbots. Zarya is getting very low. She goes down, but it's just not going to be enough. You're already down 23. You'd have to see a full-on comeback here. Doesn't seem likely at the moment. I think you're down about 18 points or so. Okay, Hanzo's gonna go down here. Crucial pick. Oh, Sim getting 2. Trying to make this a little bit closer, make the scoreboard look a little bit better for them, but Winston's gonna follow Zarya. Zarya getting very low. She does go down to Sim. Sim's just putting on a clinic here. This is kind of what we expect from Sim, as from Season 1 she was a very good hero on the Gooders. However, only 2 kills necessary here for LogiSwords to take the first 3-0 of Overbots in Season 2. A very stark difference between the last matchup between these teams. And, as I've said, the trade deadline is now week 2. So if you're looking for some trades, trying to bolster your roster a little bit, make it maybe something else will work better here or there, feel free. And that is the 3-0. So after that match, my family wants me to go help with something, so I will be back on shortly. I might do your next match actually, Tyler, because you have 2 matches. And when I get back, if you want to stay on.
Who is that against?
Josh, can you